Hello, I'm David Bourne. I'm here in the warming kitchen at Ben Lomond Historic Site. The warming kitchen would be used in the wintertime to prepare meals so that the heat from the fire behind me in the fireplace would actually heat the building above. We're talking about Thanksgiving. Now, Thanksgiving has a number of different incarnations, and I actually took the time to run some of those off, but I didn't take the time to memorize them. So I have my sheet right here, and let's talk about them a little bit. In 1789, George Washington issued a proclamation naming November 26th a day of public thanksgiving and prayer. In 1863, during the Civil War, Abraham Lincoln proclaimed Thanksgiving a national holiday to be celebrated annually on the last Thursday of November. In 1941, this is World War II, Congress passed a joint resolution declaring the fourth Thursday in November to be the legal Thanksgiving holiday, and President Franklin D. Roosevelt signed the resolution on December 26th, 1941. At that point, we were in World War II. Every year, we actually do a program here, my wife and I, where we actually prepare a traditional Thanksgiving meal. Now, when we prepare our Thanksgiving meal, we actually prepare it on an open fire, usually outside if the weather's good. The slave cabin outside, we actually use that for preparing this meal. We want to try to incorporate the four major types of cooking. And I have two of them represented by the equipment here on the table. This on my left, this is a pot for boiling. Boiling is important. Boiling is one way that we will prepare things like the potatoes that we'll have for the dinner. Here on my right, we have what was called a tin kitchen. Now, the tin kitchen would actually be used for roasting. So, a small turkey or a chicken roaster, we would actually put inside here. There's some pins that we would actually put to hold it in place, and then every so often we would rotate the bird so that it doesn't burn. We put that right up next to the fire, and the reflective heat from the fire actually cooks the bird. It takes about 4.5 hours to do that. Now, you'll notice there's a little spout right here. That little spout can be used to pour the juices out, and then we can baste the chicken or turkey as we go along. There is a door here in the back, and so we can actually take a spoon and baste across the bird while we're cooking it. And again, it takes about 4.5 hours to do. I went ahead and picked up a bird this morning so that I could show trussing the bird. Some of the folks who come to our program want to come early so that they can see the bird trussed. Well, the problem is we have to do that usually around 7 o'clock in the morning so that by the time we're ready to have lunch, our bird is cooked. So one of the things that we actually use on our bird is we use spices that we get out of our kitchen. Now here I have rosemary and sage, and the rosemary and sage will be placed inside the bird. So we can do that right now if you wish. I'll pull this stuff out right here, and we'll put the sage and the rosemary right in the cavity of our chicken, our roaster. Now we save the items that come out of the bird, you know, the gizzards and such, and we can use that for other things. Gravy, that sort of thing. So make sure that fits in there like so. All right. Now, something that was very commonplace in the 19th century, and that common spice is called kitchen pepper. Now, kitchen pepper is made up of a number of things. It does have black pepper in it. One of the ingredients is black pepper. But it also has salt. It has cloves. It has ginger. And it has a really great smell. Now, what I usually do is I take some of my kitchen pepper and I sprinkle it on top of the bird, and then I rub that in. Now, it has all kinds of different spices that will be good for, it's good for the chicken, it's good for turkey, it's actually good for pork as well. We use it on pork quite a lot here at Ben Lomond Historic Site. I'm going to rub that all over my bird. Let's flip him over here. All right, we're going to use it. One time or another, everybody out there has probably had a rotisserie chicken. And the rotisserie chicken is actually trussed by the butcher. Well, this is not trussed, so we have to actually truss the bird. Now, in trussing the bird, what we're actually trying to achieve is to tie everything up close so that, you know, the wings aren't flying around while you're trying to roast it, that sort of thing. So you'll notice, if you can see this, Jovan, you'll notice that I'm actually tying up the wings. Now, on a turkey, the wings are larger. I can actually flip the wings down, and that works out better. But in this particular case, I need to tie up the wings because it's a chicken. And then I'm going to come down here. I'm going to crisscross right here. Now, this string that we use to truss the turkey is just a simple cotton string. Anything that you have will be good to use. So I put that under the breast there, and then I need to come up and I need to tie the legs. Like so. Shoot. We tie this in a very simple knot. Like so. And we can cut the extra off, and we're ready to put it on the spit. Now, I'm not going to actually do that today. If you want to see that, you'll have to actually come to the program. But we would actually run this spit right here through the chicken or turkey. Now, I'm gonna turn it just a sec so you guys can see a little bit better. Here's the spout that I can get the juice from the bird from, and then you'll notice that there's a series of holes. Those holes are what I use to actually rotate the bird, and I'll have to do that about every 15-20 minutes all during the cooking process until it's nice and brown on both sides. All right, the last two things last two methods that we use for cooking is frying. Everybody does frying. One of the things that we actually make with frying is something called koosh. Koosh is actually old cornbread. We crumble it up in a frying pan, and then we add spices like the sage, like rosemary, like thyme, things that, you know, we grow in our kitchen garden outside. Sorry about that. My glasses flying down. So couche sounds an awful lot to me like stuffing. And so that's how we make it. We make the dish called couche, but we make it as the stuffing for our, in this case, a turkey we'll actually cook at the program. And so we have now roasting, boiling, frying, and then we have this big pot right here. Now some of you all probably know what this pot is. For those of you who don't, this is a Dutch oven. Now this Dutch oven allows us to do something very interesting. If you look at your oven at home, you will notice that there's a heating element at the bottom and a heating element at the top. The way the Dutch oven works is there are legs on the bottom, so we can actually put coals up under the Dutch oven for heating element on the bottom. The lid actually has a lip, so we can actually add coals to the top. Now you will notice that we actually have some old coals on top of the oven. We'll actually clear those off and put new ones on when we cook on the Saturday of our Thanksgiving meal program. And a couple of the things that we'll make using the baking process, we will actually bake some pies. We'll bake an apple pie or two, depending on how many come. And we will also bake yeast rolls. So we will make rolls from scratch using my grandmother's recipe to make those in this pot right here. So we have roasting, boiling, frying, baking. We'll use all of these processes to make a Thanksgiving meal. And the Thanksgiving meal will include turkey, the stuffing, the couche that we talked about, the rolls, the pie. We will make potatoes. We'll boil those in the pot and make mashed potatoes. Oh, we're going to have cranberry sauce. Cranberry sauce. The cranberry sauce that we make is not actually just a normal cranberry sauce. We make a cranberry apple chutney from a historic recipe that I found, and that will actually be done in a saucepan. So we have a cast iron saucepan that we will use for that process. We'll actually put a list of these recipes together and add a link to our YouTube site that will include all the recipes, to include the kitchen pepper. That will give you a recipe for that. The cranberry apple chutney we usually pass on for that too. Apple pie. Usually we use my wife's mother's apple pie recipe, and we'll give you a recipe for the rolls too. If you like the video, please like and subscribe, and please come by Ben Lomond Historic Site. We're located at 10321 Sudley Manor Drive, and take a tour. We'd love to see you.